Hello, Division 4A, and welcome to your precap show. Yes, this is a little bit of a surprise because our benevolent Supreme Overlord, Full Metal, has offered to host this precap show. Welcome.
You thought you weren't getting one, but you are. Now, you better be glad that you get one, because I'm totally taking time out of my day. I'm sick as a dog. But Octochicken seems like a really cool guy. He's super into this, and I was happy to help. So yeah, it might change flavour next time. This is very much my flavour of recaps for the screen setup and the music and things. So don't expect this every week. I'm sure his is going to be far better. I'm just glad to ride along. He's going to take point. I'll point the camera at things, offer occasional pieces of opinion, and we'll go from there. Off you go, dude. Yeah,
definitely. So 4A. I hope you guys have all seen that Hagrim, your div admin, has opened up an extra Discord channel for you. So join the Discord of 4A if you haven't seen it. There will be stuff like match discussions, matchmaking. Of course, go through Reddit to put the dates in to make it all follow the rules, but you can discuss it there. And also there will be, as soon as everybody has joined, because we have one latecomer and he will not have heard the last of that.
Shame! Shame!
We will start a tipping competition with you guys against each other and against me, your recapper, and maybe even Hagrim, your dev admin, but I've heard that he is busy doing recaps for other divisions. So he might not join in, but
even if he does, I can tell you from experience. He took part in the tipping comp that I run last season. He was awful at it, so you want him to take part because he's an easy win.
Yeah, nice. So that will be happening. I'm unfortunately not able to provide any prizes because I'm not the Supreme Overlord, but still, I hope that you will try to win anyway and beat me and beat the other coaches, if not on the pitch, then in the tipping comp. Yeah, you might have had a look at whom you've got in your division and have seen that we have a wide spread of different flavors of teams. We have 3 kill teams, 3 edgy teams, 2 control teams, 5 hybrid teams, and even 1 stunty team, which is really, really interesting and nice because you don't see them every day. And you might have seen that we really have no armor to speak of. We have 2 Orc teams. Okay, they have AV9. We have a Nurgle team and a Chaos team. They have AV8, AV9, but we mostly have AV7. We have 6 teams that consist mostly of players with AV7. So if you are one of the many coaches actually to have a Pommer in your roster, then you might be very glad to see whom you're up against in this season. If you're one of the teams who don't have a Pommer in your team, well, hopefully you have a lot of dodge, and I know most of.
If you don't have one, go and get one.
Definitely. I know it might sound hard, and I know from experience it is hard because my Brad team hasn't had a Pommer in its career. I know your Brad team last season had very successful Pommer.
The best killer on REBBL 1 season record. Thank you very much.
Exactly.
He was so good. He was so stupid. It was ridiculous. I don't know how that ever happened. It'll never happen again.
Probably not. But a lot of the teams in this division have a lot of dodge. We have roughly 5 dodge players on each team. We have only about 1 tackle player on each team.
They're going to be working overtime.
Definitely, and I bet that's got to change by the end of the season. By the end of the season, we have 3 or 4 tackle players in each team because they are so fed up with people just dodging away from them.
Well, I think when you're in a division with an Amazon team, you tend to end up with more tackle than you ever plan to anywhere, because they're quite frustrating.
And the Amazon team, they are the ones with the most dodge, of course, but they are not the only ones who have a lot of dodge.
I'm hoping you can pronounce the name of the Amazon team when we get there.
Oh, definitely.
That definitely looks
I will have
to me.
a problem with Dragonero's team, again, like last season. But with the Amazons, the Umweltschützerinnen, I have no problem at all. So, let's start with the sit-down boys. And this is a team I can tell you the most about, because I was in the same division as him last time, Lord Brainlord with the sit-down boys. He comes in with 48 perceived, predicted power level. I don't know what to say about that.
He comes in with just ridiculous level up. This is filthy.
This is really filthy. So he is he's number 1 in TV, in team value in the division, and he did not have the best of records last season. So he comes from Division 4E. He was in the 8th place with a 5-1-7 record, but he had the second most touchdowns of the division with 26. And you can see by his from his team why that is, because he has the star of the team, Lord Fluoride. He's also a record holder from last season. He had the most passing meters that we had.
He's amazing.
Yeah,
but
450
disgusting.
meters.
That's ludicrous.
450 meters of passing last season, which is the second highest anyone has ever gotten in REBBL history. Only Sif Mooner achieved 530 meters in Season 9. And that was despite being MNG'd by a wizard in the third to last game last season. So Lord Fluoride is definitely here to break some records if he does not get his gonads kicked in by the other teams, because I've heard from several coaches now that he's the number 1 fouling target from them.
See, I don't know if he'd be my number 1 fouling target, because the guy's got 2 movement 9 catches, and he's got a killer catcher.
And he's away. I tried it myself. I tried to kill him myself. After that, I was all about, yeah, go for the record, go for the record, after I failed to kill him, of course. So, he is incredibly hard to hit, because that is one thing Lord Brainlord has going for him. He knows how to keep him safe.
I mean, he's
Lord Fluoride safe.
got
And it's pretty easy, because he just hangs back and then he moves forward 2 or 3 spaces and throws the ball over half the field. So, and then the catchers...
if I remember my passing ruler, he can throw farther than anyone else can move. So
exactly.
So how do you hit the guy? It's just stupid. And he's got safe throw, so you can even throw it over the heads of your team, unless you're Kislev, of course.
And it was even used last season, because our recapper Villaination had made a point about showing every time safe throw was used, and it was not very often, because everyone in our division had it, but nobody really got to use it. Yeah, I also want to point to Beachmaster 3. He has a tough luck, I would say, but he's guard, so he will never leave the team unless he dies, I would guess.
At least he's not niggled yet. I think if he takes a niggle or an AV bust, that's probably when he has to leave. But yeah, I think you keep him otherwise. Yeah,
definitely, because he's the only guard player on a team with a ridiculous team value. And to balance everything out, I'm going to cite Lord Brainlord, because he said his team is balanced because he is a terrible coach. That's his words, not mine.
No, I've heard that a lot in the past, and
that's not really true. What I will say is he needs to pace himself, because he is a team that is so perfectly fit for a 2-turn touchdown. He goes for it every time, and that gives his opponents time to, well, to
counterattack.
Yeah,
to
counterattack and to be in charge of how the game works, how the game runs. They are in command of the timer, and that's a problem. Sometimes you have to pace yourself, even if you can score a touchdown in a turn. As pro elves, you don't always want to.
This is something actually I'm playing pro elves in clan, and I'm learning that you have so many options to score. You kind of feel like, I'll just score, but then you kind of go, well, we're not wood elves, so how actually do we take the ball off the opponent? And you're not getting a wizard because you're 1790 TV, although he is going to cut down the TV because he's got 210k in the bank, so he can afford to burn 60k. That's why I bring it down to 1730.
And he might even buy the Wizard Stadium. He has no enhancement yet, so maybe the Wizard Stadium will be...
I wouldn't hate that choice. If you're already going to be the biggest guy in the division, you know, you're going to see a lot of wizards against you, so you might as well get a guaranteed wizard every time you play at home.
Exactly. Okay, let's go to the next one. That's Sneaky Blinders by Aromasin.
Yes.
They have the 10th highest TV, so on the low end, and they have a 2-9 record. Were the last in Div 4C last season, so the expectations are a bit low. And if you look at the roster, Arthur Shelby is the one that,
he's a
jumps out to me first. He has some really nice people, but a Warpstone troll with 58 SPP is something that does not happen every day, I would say, because he only got 2 MVPs. So most of that is 21 casts and 2 touchdowns.
That's impressive.
Yeah, and that means he gets activated more often than he probably should be activated, because he's a strength 6 Warpstone troll. You want to park him next to the important guys of the enemy and just leave him there.
No, obviously there is a lot of debate with when you see like strength 6 big guys, because you're like, well, that could have been block, but he's already got tentacles. So I kind of like this. It's not something you'd do on every you wouldn't take it on every player, certainly, but
yeah,
on this player, I think it's quite a good pickup because it allows you to use those tentacles to the best effect.
And I think so too. And with Stand Firm, Stand Firm is actually a better skill, I think, against red die blocks than block, because you keep your tentacles on the opponent. You see, a push does nothing to you, while a push from a red die normally means, well, your tentacles are off the opponent. And so I like Stand Firm actually better than block if you're just passive with your player in this case.
Agreed. He's also got a basically perfect Underworld killer. The only thing he needs is horns. But he went for horns because he got doubles on his most recent level up and took jump up, which is actually fantastic too.
Yeah, which is even better. I agree. So that guy is really, really nice. What I'm wondering about is the foul appearance on Finn Shelby.
I'm looking at that going, surely that... I mean, if that was me, I'd have built him wrestle, tackle, 2 heads probably to be a sacker. But I don't know what he does. But he's cool. I like him.
Yeah,
but don't know what it's all about.
if you're going the route of pretending to be Nurgle, I would have gone for Disturbing Presence first. Because
it's very worth going Disturbing Presence on Skaven Line Rat as well, because they actually look like they've been set on fire. I don't know why Cyanide went for that effect, but the effect they use, they look like they've been set on fire, and they're running around with the fire following them.
Nice. Yeah, we also have the dreaded 2 heads big hand goblin.
I like it.
Nice. Yeah, me too. We have the dirty player goblin, which I also like. I'm not quite sure about the edgy goblin, although an edgy goblin is always very annoying.
I think you'd always take it, but it's kind of scary when you've got the big hand 2 heads guy. You'd rather use him to go and get the ball because the edgy is almost more worth protecting. I don't know. It's a weird one because you kinda like it, but at the same time you're like, do I use this here?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not sure. Maybe it's bait. Maybe people will see, oh my god, that's a plus edgy goblin, and this is bait. And we have another team coming up where I think the plus edgy might just be a taunt.
A distraction.
A distraction, a taunt, exactly. Yeah, with a record, an overall record of 3, 12, and 31, but a team that looks so nice, I would say I'm quite torn on how to predict the season going for them.
I think the big prediction, what I'd go for, is that no matter what happens, he's probably going to hurt you. It's probably going to suck, because he's got that killer. So, you know, he might not win every game, because his record suggests that as well. Like, there's no shade being thrown at Aromas in there, but I'm telling you what, you'll leave a mark. You'll know you've played him.
Definitely. Okay, next up, it's Tridentum Execrata. So Dragonero will let me know if I'm closer to pronouncing that right than the last few times or not. He was in Division 4B last season. He finished 10th place as well after a very rough start, so he clawed it back in the last few games for
I see what you
a 4
did
to
there.
7 record.
He's got werewolves. He clawed it back, right? Yeah.
Oh yes, oh yes.
I see what you did there.
And he's paying the white tax. And I did not know that Necros could do that, but apparently a white tax is also possible.
Yeah, taxmen prefer flesh golems, but they have always said in the past that they will take a white if it's available.
Yeah, and so they did, 2 of them, apparently. And there was only money for 1 so far, but I guess that with 100k in the bank, there will be a second white coming soon. And we have another record holder here. We have a record holder in Vastator. He managed to get the most blocks out of any REBBL player last season, with 162 blocks in the regular season.
That is a lot of blocks. I thought I did a lot with my Bretonian, but geez, that is a lot of blocks.
Yep. But, yeah. He did not manage to get any Pillow Fist awards, but he was close for it, because it's not very killy. But,
he's got Mighty Blow and Claw. Why is he not very killy? He should be killing things left, right, and centre. That should be his...
Definitely, but he just likes to... he's also plus edgy, so he likes to run behind the ball. And
well, he's also a dog, so, I mean, he's probably used to chasing balls.
Exactly. So, and Ultor, he does not put numbers on it, but I think it's the 4th incarnation of that werewolf. And finally he got the plus strength he always wanted. Because that's actually, as far as I know, supposed to be the killer werewolf.
Plus strength is really nice on werewolves as well, because frenzy can be scary. Because obviously, you know, you kind of, sometimes you get yourself trapped and get yourself in bad situations. But strength 4 werewolves are so, like, forgiving on that front. They can kind of get away with a lot more, and being used like a lot more kind of blasely almost. If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. So it's much harder to trap them, and you can if you want to leave them out there, because the enemy, the opponent probably has to commit more than 1 player to get this one down.
Yeah,
I still would not recommend it, because it's still your second most valuable player, but still you can.
Like I say, it lets you do things that you wouldn't normally otherwise be able to do, which is the dream, right?
Exactly. And also he has Exitium, the ghoul, who in the past has been his ball carrier. So that guy with sure hands and kickoff return, he's the ball carrier of the team.
Kind of boring, but he does the job. Lots of normals.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I'm not quite sure about the block and then dirty player zombie, but I guess if you already have a block kick zombie, you don't know what to give a zombie else.
I like
but
wrestle dirty player zombies.
Definitely. I like wrestle on my dirty players as well. But well, in hindsight, you can say you take tackle. Of course you take tackle. Look at your division, but he didn't know about that before.
Yeah, like Vastator's going to have to work overtime today.
Oh yeah, he definitely has. Yeah, going forward, Umi's Electric Boogaloo by the Richest T.
The third incarnation of the Humies, I think.
Is that the third?
It's definitely the second.
Yeah, I would guess the second, because you normally say Electric Boogaloo.
I'm sure. Yeah, he brought them back for a season when he was supposed to play Ogres, which is why I was thinking, they saw the old ones saw an extra season than we expected them to, which was the mix up. But he's played the Humans quite a while on both teams now.
Okay, yeah, and he comes from Division 5B, 5th place, 634 record, so pretty normal. 9th in TV in this division, and he has said he needs 2 Big Ls to die this season to keep up appearances. So apparently Big L did not die last season, and
I'm genuinely surprised to see him with 3 skills. That's unusual for T's Ogre. And it's kind of common for humans in general, is they throw their humans at their ogres at problems and into situations that is dangerous to is not conducive to long health, because obviously strength 5 is a hell of a thing, but Big Al in particular is really bad at surviving. Even when he was on T's Ogre team, Big Al kept dying. It's it's a hell of a thing.
Yeah, and we see here a nice Pommer with tackle, so he will have a joyful season, I would say. John,
And movement 8 as well, so you can keep up with the werewolf.
Yeah. With the werewolves, with everything else. Not with the catchers of Lord Brainlord, but that's another... Nobody can, actually. Mostly nobody. And we see guard galore in this team.
It's good. I like picking up guard wherever you get doubles on humans, because being strength 3 elsewhere and only having the 4 blitzers, that can get normal strength access. And the ogre, but the ogre's unreliable, and especially Big Al.
But is it worth on really everyone? Because that guard on Mike is now costing 50k. Because you're not going to be using Dirty Player with your guard piece anymore.
Well, if you've got a bribe.
Well, yeah. And he's also niggled, so a niggled guard piece is, with Dirty Player is, is another taunt piece, I would say.
I still stick by my argument. The only time you've got too much guard is when you're trying to put a 17th on a team.
Okay, yep. That's... Yeah, that's a tactic, I would say. No.
Guard wins games. What can I say? It's true.
It definitely. Guard wins games, and let's see if it does win a division as well. Because, well, not the best, not the worst record, and a predicted power level of 42. I'm using, by the way, the points. You guys put
it's not so much a power level,
divisions.
so much as a summary of last season's performance, which I suppose equals out to some extent a power level. Like, it's based on how they did across everything last season.
It's quite easy actually to see how you calculate the points.
It is,
except for the people who went into the playoffs and the
Challenger Cup, which is designed to kickstart people's movement up the divisions anyway. So people who just didn't qualify for challenges, it's going to be pretty easy to figure out where those points came from.
Yeah. But we will not disclose it here on this precap. Yeah, I would say this is a very nice-looking human team, although there's nobody who really stands out, except for, if you know the history, Big Al, and John is also quite nice.
It's worthy of note, right?
Only
John
one stat
is
up.
very similar to a previous John that T ran, who also got plus movement, Pom tackle, who then took a minus movement.
Damn.
But Wilfred on this team is incredibly dull compared to the previous incarnation of Wilfred, who used to have Agi 5.
Ooh, that's a nice throw.
Yeah, he's kind of boring now.
Well, he has guard, so he does not carry the ball.
No, I like guard on the throw because it allows people who, like elves, who can get inside your cage and attack the ball and stuff. It allows you to provide less assists to blitz them off, because you can use Wilfred before he moves as the guard, as long as he's not knocked down. He's got blodge, so it's quite difficult to bring down as well. The typical thing of let's base the thrower. Well, you're basing him, but he's got guard, so it's easier to blitz people off then, because you need to provide less assists.
Yeah.
So it's not the worst.
Yeah, I can see the merit.
It's not a ball carrier with stand firm, which is a separate argument I have with someone else.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Going forward to Dreamify's community sport. And here
Dreamify is
I have
a huge veteran. This is his 3rd team in REBBL.
Okay, and apparently he had elves before.
He had,
because he said, I thought I rerolled from elves to orc last season. Then it turned out my orcs are just beefier elves.
Yeah, he played pro elves, but before that he played dark elves.
Okay, so he went from somewhat beefy elves to none at all beefy elves to very beefy green elves.
These are really
Although
nice.
It's apparently the black orcs who are the elfiest of all.
One the
one that is dead now, because that's the elfiest thing you can do.
Yeah, that's possibly about the peak elfiness.
Yeah, and he has also Elfie stat ups. His thrower has an edgy up, his lineman has an edgy up, and his blitzer has 2 movement ups. So they also look like elves now from the stat lines.
I actually really love the movement A blitzer. I think
Yeah, me too.
That's fantastic.
I'm still the thrower. There's the saying that the orc thrower is bad because orcs don't have catchers. Now you have an edgy 4 lineman, but that's a very bad catcher in my point of view because he's movement 5. What do you want to? You can leave it on the thrower if you want to throw it to the movement 5 instead. That's not.
I have to say, credit where it's due. I really like what Dreamify did with the Agi 4 line orc though. In that he's given him wrestle, because that gives him a somewhat. He's not the fastest sacker in the world, but it gives him options to dodge around, dodge across tackle zones and things like that, and be a bit more of a threat to potatoes and just generally be a pain in the ass, which is I like.
Yeah, a bit, but I still don't see the big purpose to put edgy on him, except for once again a taunt, because it's movement 5. He doesn't have any other skill than wrestle, and he seems to not be gaining any SPP from anything but MVPs. He has 4 MVPs to his name, only 1 cast and 1 pass otherwise. He's not giving him the ball, which, as we said, we both like, I think, but still.
I don't hate using it as a somewhat mobile, not mobile, but somewhat agility based sacker. He can get around, like he can get through tackle zones and stuff, and he's just. It's one of those things where it's not ideal, but it gives you an option, and that's not terrible.
Yeah, sure. And this is one of only 2 teams in the division who has no dodge.
That's fairly standard for Ox.
Yeah, it's pretty standard, and he has 2 tackle, so he will be one of the teams with more tackle than most of the others. So he will like this division actually, maybe.
I think he'll do well. Dreamify is a very solid performer. The one thing that stands out to me actually is the 4th team reroll.
That's a lot.
But he has always been a coach that enjoys having a bit extra available to him in terms of rerolls. He tends towards 4 rerolls a lot on his teams, so it's not unusual for him. It's just unusual
for him. Okay,
so
that's still 250k just in rerolls is
240, 60k.
What did I say?
You said 250. It's not big.
Okay, yep. That's impossible for Swar, but okay.
I was like, huh? No, it's fine.
What? And he's going to buy a Black Orc because, the last one died. That was apparently the healthiest of them all with strength 5, but 2 interceptions.
That's pretty good. I have to say, the one thing that he doesn't really have on the team is particularly developed Black Orcs. It is only a 2nd season team, but obviously where you can, like, Black Orc level ups are just gold dust on an Orc team.
They are, but they have some of the most important. So all of them that are currently alive have block, which is important for them, because otherwise it's just a meat shield that you can push over anytime you want. And 2 of them already have guard, so now it's
he's definitely going in the right direction.
And then Mighty Blow, I would say, because you have already 3 Mighty Blow on your blitzers. You also have a troll. Yeah, I think that's not that much of a problem for him.
Like I say, he's Dreamify is one of the coaches I would flag to watch, because whilst I've not seen a lot of what he does on Orcs, he's a veteran to REBBL, and he's played a lot of Blood Bowl in his time, so he's definitely a threat.
Yeah, he had a decent first season with the team, Division 5C, 5th place with a 7-1-5 record. Yeah. Okay, then we go to the Umweltschützerin by GMan, and they are a stat up festival.
Jesus, what are these? What are they taking? And where can I get some?
Yeah, definitely. I want that, but yeah, I don't know if these stat ups came late in last season or if there was still a problem with too much tackle in the last division, because The Umweltschützerinnen also come from Division 5C, and they were in 11th place.
It could just be that
265.
everyone looks at Amazons and goes, "Oh, they're really easy to play because everyone's got dodge and no one can knock you down." But the one thing that I always find with Amazons is they're slow. The movement 6 actually takes a fair bit of like getting used to and strategizing around only being movement 6 and agility 3, although not really a problem that GMan has to deal with 2 agility 4s and a movement 7 as well. But it is something that they've got such a boring vanilla 6-3-3-7 stat line that they can be quite difficult to play. If you get me, they're quite good at draws and they're quite good at surviving when people don't have tackle. But they're not like an easy team to play, I would say.
And if they go down, then they go down hard.
Exactly, which is a questionable thing to say about a team full of women.
I did not say that. So, but we can see that already because last match alone he got 2 MNGs. So 2 of the line women are out for next game, and I would guess that's the standard for this team. To lose that many people. You do. It
does hurt. I mean, Hummersep is a very special kind of Amazon coach, but he's managed to keep teams alive in higher divisions than this. So possibly it could be worth GMan's time checking Hummersep's streams. I don't know.
Definitely has a nice amount of guard.
Yes.
And although it is a team with the most dodge, it is also a team with 2 tackles, so that's also nice for them. I want to see where these players are going next for their next setups, because I would guess with Blotch already and guard, it would be very nice to have some sidesteppers on this team to be more annoying than ever.
To be honest, with the blitzers, stand firm because they have strength access on normals.
Oh
can
yeah,
be also incredibly irritating.
Yeah, ugly.
Yeah, I'm not an expert on Amazons, but I'm not very good at them at all. But like I say, it is they are a tougher team to play than people often expect. They're just quite good at not getting knocked over in early seasons.
And I would say on paper, this is a really, really powerful team. So
I would say don't sleep on GMan. I think this team is capable of a lot as long as it doesn't die horribly in a fire.
Exactly, but we have a lot of people who might kill them. And when we speak of killing, we go to the next team, which are the Bootleg All-Stars, and it's the Goblins.
Oh god, that's a strip and a half as well, isn't it? Look at that. It's red and white spots, what's that all about? Ooh, slap a forehead is pretty good. Shame he's missing. Is that just a... Oh god, he's niggled and MNG'd. But movement 8, Pogoer, that's pretty good.
Yeah, with sure feet already.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, me too. I'm wondering about the skill choices on the trolls, to be honest.
I've got to say, I'm not a huge fan of piling on, but I understand when you're playing goblins that sometimes you just want to do lots of damage, and it helps.
Yeah. And comparatively, the skill ups on the Looney and Fnatic are somewhat sane, I would say.
Well, the Fnatic, that's still a double, so that's really good.
That's a double, yeah, but it's a sane option.
Oh, yeah.
You could have, on the Looney, for example, you could have taken Leap to go for
that's
the
insane.
most chaos possible.
I'm gonna 4+, and if I fail, I'm just gonna kill myself on a chainsaw. I don't like that one. I'm not in favor.
Okay, yeah. So dodge is much better.
Dodge is a good defensive skill. Helps keep him on his feet.
Yeah, but he does not need another offensive skill because he has Chainsaw, the best offensive skill there is.
If he gets a double, he can get Dirty Player, which makes the Chainsaw infinitely better because you can apply Dirty Player on the injury roll when you use the Chainsaw on the armor. If you get through without needing the Dirty Player for the armor. So that can be just nasty.
And he has 100k in the bank, and I would immediately go to the club tab, go on enhancement, and build a Knuffles Altar.
He doesn't have one. That's unusual.
Yep.
Yeah, I would instantly get a Knuffles Altar.
Exactly. And he is with a team value of 1,330. He's actually not the last team in TV as goblins.
That's interesting.
Yeah, we come to that later. And he has a nice developed goblin team, as far as I would say, because having block on your fanatic is already a nice developed goblin team.
Yeah, any one of the fanatic and the loony getting a double does make them quite desirable as players.
Yeah, and dodge already is nice on the loony.
Yeah, agreed. It's and like I said, the Pogoer with movement 8, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, going next to Valaka's Ass Kickers by Theocles.
Yeah, this is a Chaos team.
That is definitely a Chaos team, although there's not much you can say about it. For a team value as high as this, it's 1710.
Team values, Chaos teams growing up, it's actually 1630.
No,
it will be 1710 when GMan comes back.
Exactly, yeah. So,
but for the first game.
For the first game, yes, but looking at the overall picture, you have a 1710 team here, which is the third highest TV in the division. He comes from a 5th place in Division 5D with 724. I'm going back to the bootleg All-Stars. They also came from 5C. They were 12th place with 3, and 7.
He's got a couple of really good players. Like the Chaos Warrior with Strength 5 is really good. The Beastman with RG4, again, is a really good pickup.
There are many good pieces in the making, I would say. It's nice that he is already he has all the block on his Chaos Warriors, and Strength 5, as you said, is awesome.
The
on
one
a Chaos
thing
Warrior.
he's missing that instantly jumps out at me as being a problem for this team is he doesn't have a Wrestle Goat.
Yeah, no ball sacker. He has no dedicated killer yet. I would guess that Nuria Adilla Internal is going to be that guy.
He's quite far off Claw there. 14 SPP is not a short road.
Yeah, but who else?
Probably Johnny L. Maxwell. I genuinely think if you're going to play this team, you kind of need to go in on where you can, and I would argue that you're probably better off, because you're going to level him faster, throwing 5 SPP towards Johnny L. Maxwell, ignoring block and going Claw.
I'm not quite sure if you do that in this division, though. Because in this division, it's it might be better to get tackle before claw.
That's a fair argument as well. I don't hate that as a choice either.
Yeah, because he is one of the he has the only team that has neither dodge nor tackle, and
he does have
instead
a tail.
He has prehensile tail.
I don't know if that's good enough. I don't know if that's going to help in the slightest, but he's got it, which is credit where it's due. He's got some tail.
Yeah, so that's a safety.
It's not the best safety in the world, but
Nope.
It's a start.
But it's what you can do.
I really hope he goes stand firm if he gets another normal as his next skill, and then it'll get more interesting. Stand firm, tackle, just be really irritating. Because there's a couple of RG3 dodge teams in this division, so
yeah, we don't have many elves in here, so that could be interesting. Exactly, fan factor of 9 already, so that
it's a sign that
also
he did pretty well.
contributes to the TV. Yeah, but I think they have a lot of potential right now. They may have a very painful season with all of the dodge around them. That might be the thing. That's a problem, I see. It's nice that they already have a nice ball carrier, because that's sometimes something that Chaos just forget.
The ball?
Because there's other things, like Mighty Blow and Claw, and you can kill things.
Oh, so you too have seen Gengar's Chaos team, then?
I'm so glad that he's in 3B and not in 3A.
Fair. Right, are we moving towards the next?
Yes. The next one, Altdorf Acrobata, the second highest TV team, and one that you have quite a lot of experience in talking about.
Annoyed the life out of me, this guy. He's a really good coach, right? Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, he got a 6th place in a division full of really good coaches with a 733 record.
Yeah,
That's
he
that
was
says
shipped to
something.
me under a lie. In that his mate Aldar, who almost everyone in GMan will know and have probably played at some point, told me he was new to the game, and it's like, and I said it once on a recap, like, oh yeah, he's new to the game and he's doing really well so far, and then he messaged me and goes, I'm not new to the game, I'm just new to REBBL, and I was like, oh, well, I've been lied to, haven't I? I've been sold a lie, boys. But no, he got a draw against me in what was an incredibly frustrating game where he didn't fail much and I kept failing 3+ dodges.
And how many people of him did you kill?
None. I hurt a couple, but no one got killed. It was a weird game. I almost pitch cleared him, but I just couldn't. He had one guy with the ball, and I was going for the win, and he just ran around me, and I was like, oh, all I gotta do is the 3+ dodge, and it failed. It was what it was. It was a good game. I would not just go, oh, the Kislev, whatever. Right? It's a really well built team. He's got the weirdest killer on a Kislev team you'll ever see, because that's not a blitzer. That's a lineman.
No, it's a normal lineman. But the blitzers on a Kislev team, are they really that?
Well, they have strength access, so you can put jump up and
jump up. Okay.
It was just the whole, we were talking about it when he first got Mighty Blow as a first skill, and we were like, really, that should have been guard, right? Because Kislev love guard, because of their ability to leap into awkward places with it and stuff. And then he keeps going, he gets block, okay, fair enough. And then he gets another double and gets piling on, and we were like, the guy's playing 4D chess, it's fine.
Yeah, he has a killer, he has a sacker in Michel. So
love that player, so well built.
Yeah. This is a team where 2 guard is actually kind of low.
Yeah, I would agree.
Very low.
And that was the one thing that I think kind of stopped him from going up to the next level in our division last season, was the fact that he just didn't quite have the guard to compete with some of the bigger teams, because we had a couple of Orc teams and a Chaos team and things like that, and even because I just got to outguard him and then to beat him up, and I think a couple more guard is all it really needs, is to be really, really dangerous.
Yeah, and in this team, 4 team rerolls on a Kislev team, I would say is normal, decent.
It's pretty much the standard, because you kind of, you 3+ leaps are scary, and you end up doing quite a few of them.
And I should have looked it up, but I think this is the only team that has a strip ball player at the moment.
It's the first one we've seen.
Yeah.
But again, that's fairly standard for Kislev. Like I said, I think that's probably, a lot of people look at like the bear or the killer. That's the most dangerous player on this team, right there. Wrestle, strip ball, tackle. Just you muck up in positioning in the slightest, and he's going to be all over you.
And he also has no stadium enhancement, so I would say, as the second highest TV in the division, also get the Wizard Stadium.
Superfed reliably informs me that the Wizard Stadium is the only thing to buy on Kislev.
Yeah.
And he's a pretty good Kislev coach. I tend to listen to him.
For teams that can get the ball from anywhere, the Wizard Stadium is the best.
Especially because Kislev get very expensive if you actually don't die.
Yeah. And we see that already with this team. They don't have that many. I say that many, but they are not overloaded with skills. And they are already at 1760. Yeah. They don't have a single stat up. They are, I think, one of the few teams in this division that don't have a stat up.
They only have 2 doubles across the entire team.
Yeah. And both are on the killer. Yep, 4D chess. You said it.
I'm telling you, man.
Okay. We're going on to Baltigore Ravens by Bolterplop.
It's
Dark Elf team. Yeah.
It's quite a nice
11th in TV. Yes, they are also they have the fundamentals for a very nice Dark Elf team in the making. It's not much yet, I would say. It has not reached that stage where it's ultra annoying because they don't roll doubles, so they all take sidestep.
They kind of are a couple. I reckon they're not far off being ridiculously good. I mean, look, the Agi 5 Lineman's 3 SPP away from a level. The Movement 8 Blitzers is 1 SPP away from a level. The Agi 5 Witch Elf is only 7 SPP from a level, and they're all very key players in this team.
Exactly. Yeah. It's what I would say is they only have the 11 players, so with all those killers out there, that might be a problem for the team. I'm not quite sure. And the record is 5-4-4 for last season. They were 7th in Division 5B. So I would say they might have had a relatively slow start to last season, because the development for one season Dark Elf team is only so-so.
It is, but they've got good development in the right places.
Definitely.
I think the Glorfil, particularly with 3 SPP to level to 16 SPP, if he gets a normal, it's vital that he takes tackle, I think.
Yes, in this division. In any division, it would be vital to have a tackle piece on the team, and in this division, it's double so.
I would agree.
Yeah. Okay, then we move on to Beefheart and His Merryman by Sir Trevor McD.
This is actually a friend of Haringzord's.
Oh, it is? Okay.
So, just a random fact. He's Haringzord's buddy, so you're going to have to be nice to him, or Haringzord will...
Okay, I did not know that. I already recapped him last season, so there might already be a strike on me. No, he had a rough first season, definitely. He only scored 8 touchdowns in the first season, and that might explain the lack of development on this team.
It is interesting to me that the team is called Beefheart and His Merry Men, and Captain Beefheart is a lineman. He's not anything special. He's a lineman.
Probably what Captain Beefheart would have wanted is... I looked it up, it was an avant-garde jazz musician.
Fair enough.
Haven't heard about him before, but maybe... I would have made him a goblin.
You've done your research, I like it. The one thing you do notice instantly, we're comparing it, obviously, this is the one problem that Trevor McDonald's going to have for the entire season is... And you can't help it, you're going to do it, right? You're going to compare him to Dreamify, because the two Orc teams are the same div. And compared to Dreamify, when we said Dreamify's Black Orcs were a little bit underdeveloped, these poor Black Orcs just don't exist.
Yeah. Definitely. But on the other hand, we also said, or I said, a throw on an Orc team is bad because you don't really have a catcher. This team actually has a catcher.
He's not bad. Blodge as well. Not just plus Agi, you got the dodge as well, which is really good.
Exactly. So that guy is, I would say, the star on the team at the moment.
The one thing I don't like level up wise, and it's just a personal thing, is the lineman with movement 6. After he got guard, I would have been like, I need to get this guy block as soon as humanly possible. Personally. But the extra movement does let you kind of keep up with the blitzers to get the guard into dangerous places, I suppose.
Exactly. A mobile guard piece is also the thing you don't throw away, I would say. Because you already have another movement 6 guard, you have a second movement 6 guard, and now you want to get SPP on Precocious Pete. Definitely. Just so that he gets the block, and then he is a really, really nice piece on your team.
I agree. Like I said, I think it feels like it's going to feel good when he gets block, but the time it takes you to get block is going to feel really sucky. Yeah.
And then he's actually just a very expensive blitzer.
But you know what? When you've already got 4, having a 5th makes the expense worth it, I think.
And blitzers are the best players on an Orc team. It's what an Orc team.
Yeah, if I said to an Orc coach, you can have a 5th blitzer, but you've got to pay like 50% more for it, they'd take it.
Yeah. Every time.
So it's not a bad one. It's not a bad one. I don't hate it.
Yeah, but yeah, something has to change on this team. With a record of 2-4-7, he needs to get things going. He has the start of a team, but in this division,
I think he's going to struggle a little bit in this division. He needs to. I think Yeah, he needs to focus on getting those players who are starting to get developed some key skills like block on Precocious P and things like that. But he also needs to be super careful that Quentin doesn't steal too much SPP from other players. That's a tough one because that can be easy to do.
Yeah, that guy needs to keep it to the winning touchdowns, not just to every touchdown. So he probably has to give some to Man Behind the Fish Mask to get him Mighty Blow, and Larry to get him Tackle.
And also on Blackhawks, if you've got a nice cage set up in the end zone and a reroll or two, and it's getting towards the end of the drive, genuinely hand off to a Blackhawk. It really helps.
It really helps, but it's really risky. I'm already hesitant to do that on to an edgy 3-piece myself. So
see,
I have problems
do what I'm doing, right? Play Kemry for a season, and suddenly Agi 2 isn't scary anymore.
Yep.
You'll be like, what do I do next? It's like, can anyone find me a Saurus?
Nice. Okay, let's go on to Ginger Wolf and Stuff from My Fridge, which is an excellent theme for a team.
It was a weird theme because very quickly we found out that Ginger Wolf's fridge is full of elves. Like, very quickly. He's like, I was like, how much space do you have in your fridge for like bacon and condiments when you've got these 4 elves stuck in there?
Yeah. He is 4th in TV. He managed to get 3rd place in Division 5G last season, 733, which is really nice for a first season Nurgle team. And,
you know what, as well, a little bit is he was so at one point he was like, I really regret re-rolling to this team, and I was like, yeah, you know what that is? That's 1 season Nurgle for you, mate. Trust me, right? Stick for the 2nd season and it'll feel better. And you tell you what, right? As his results went up, but he was like, you know what? It does feel a bit better now. I'm getting some skills. I was like, yeah, I told you.
I'm wondering why his killer hasn't had block yet.
Because he likes all apple pies. I don't know. It's one of those ones where you kind of Nurgle develops so slowly, right? That you kind of it's okay to forego block because adding block slows everything down. I would expect him to probably either get block or tackle as his next skill, and then the other one, the skill after. Because right now, Mighty Blow Claw piling on, he's really good at generating SPP for himself now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I would expect tackle now because with this division again, you have horns, so you get most likely 2 dice with your blitz. So you just take the 1 and 9, and you have 3 team rerolls, and just try to with tackle to knock the opponent down.
To be honest, there's an argument as well with killers, specifically dedicated killers like this, that block's actually quite bad for you because his job isn't to just hit any old person on the field. You got the warriors for that, yeah? His job is to hit the most valuable available target. In general, on an opposing team, the most valuable available target will have block or wrestle. So, being able to take a both down usually just ends up with your killer stuck next to someone else who didn't fall over. At that point, Agi 2 is a massive bane because you can't casually just dodge back out.
Yep. So you need, you take Juggernaut.
Instead, yeah, it's actually safer almost to get Juggernaut instead of block on a killer like this.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. Yeah, and he still should take tackle first, in my opinion.
I reckon because tackle on him would be so good.
That's the one thing he needs on his team this season. Mm-hmm. He's he's past the point where Nurgle just flat out sucks. So yeah, next up.
I'm gonna keep saying it though. You know what he needs, and he's always needed on this team, is he actually does need a little bit of runner SPP because I don't think I could ever remember him having a dirty player. And I know how I play Nurgle, and I play Nurgle really foul heavy. And it's not how everyone does, but I think Rotters are such good fouling players that if you can get a skill up that isn't guard, it should probably be dirty player.
Yeah. Yeah, that I'm 100% with you there. But still, I would not actually try to give a rotter SPP. They will somehow accumulate some for level 1, and then it happens. It's because you have so many pieces you want your SPP on.
You really do. Nurgle is such a. You need to get them all to a point where they start generating their own SPP. Like Mighty Blow on the Warriors is so good, but he kind of can't afford to stack up Mighty Blow next for most of them because he's really short on guard.
He is. He has 1. He has 1 on Cake.
And that doesn't really count because it's a beast, and half the time it's going to be sat there drooling on itself.
Another reason why I like Stand Firm on a beast, actually, because once again, you don't have to activate it, you just stand it there, and the opponent is not able to move it away because you have Stand Firm.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. 3 SPP to a level on it as well means that if he does find a couple of random cards with blocks when it's safe to do so, he might get that 1 in 6 chance for an actual block skill and be really good.
Oh yeah, that would be great for him.
I'd expect big things. Ginger Wolf's a good coach.
Yeah, me too. I think this is one of the teams to look out for in this division.
And it's already got claw, so the Orcs are already looking at it going, thanks, I hate it.
Yeah. And last but not least, we have our wild card from the ramp up. We have Shit Sauce with Rats on a Stick. And this is a team with the least amount of team value.
This is
12,
there's
60.
there's not a lot of skills here.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very, very ugly season for them.
To be honest, the big thing that jumps out at me is the Storm Vermin having no level ups really hurts.
Not at all. Yeah. Only 1, and it looks like an MVP. Is it an MVP?
I'd genuinely try to get into a situation
yep.
where you've got a Storm Vermin inside a cage and you're handing off to them, at least until they both get 1 level up.
You almost have to. Otherwise, your season is over before it began.
But considering it's a rat, he's got a really good thrower. I don't like Skaven throwers over much, but if you're going to have one, having one with both accurate and strong arm makes him pretty good.
Yes, it's not the best thrower in the division, but that's almost impossible with Lord Fluorite in the division. So he can go for second best thrower, and with Gutter Runners, I'm always a bit curious why Skaven coaches don't go for more passing plays, actually, because Gutter Runners are not bad at catching at all.
You see, most of them don't go for passing plays because most of them don't take a thrower.
Yep, that's
that was my logic. I had a thrower to start my when I played Skaven in REBBL. I had to throw to start my team, and as soon as he died, he did not get replaced. Oh. Because my question to you is, why would you use that guy to handle the ball when you get 4 dudes with Agi4?
Because he still is better at picking up the ball without costing you a reroll.
Yeah, but you can put your hands on them; they get normal access. It's not like they don't get normals.
No, yeah, true, but also strength 3, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you want to chuck all your.
Like I say, when you get accurate and strong arm, it makes him a much better thrower. He's actually a good Skaven thrower, so it changes the argument a little bit.
Definitely, and he has kick already on his lineman, which is very much needed on a Skaven team with nothing else.
It's actually a really hard decision as far as I'm concerned to pick kick or dirty player, and it's really I like the fact that he's gone kick. I think that's smart. That'll win him more games, but I would love to see one of these 5 SPP rats get dirty player as soon as they find SPP from anywhere.
Yeah, sure, and he will have gripes to make up for the lack of
he's so cheap. He's so cheap.
Yeah,
that's actually something that is a massive strength of Skaven, is that even when they have obviously he doesn't have a ton of development, but even when he's got a lot of room to grow and still be cheap.
Yeah, I would say this is the lowest TV team in the league, but he's not the one I give the lowest chances to in the division. I would say they have more chances than some of the other teams here.
Well, there's a Goblin team
because
in the
they are
that's not that bold of a I love Goblins, I love them, but they don't win games.
No,
unless they're Kiander, but he's a very special kind of Goblin coach. I don't understand.
He
how
got
does so
into
well.
Division 2, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's nuts. I don't know how he does it. I have no idea how he does so well. So shall we look at who isn't here yet? Because I've got them up on the screen right now.
It's a tall dwarfs with 87.
No AV, yeah, no AV. Deadman's 78, and he's got such a good berserker. Like, he's got two really good berserkers actually, but very different flavors on them. Like,
yeah, I just like have to get him
you
on
can't
my
do it
screen.
quite as easy as I can because I've got the admin tools to just go, oh, I can look at who's been invited.
Yeah,
but let's just say, Mighty Blow, piling on, tackle, guard, and fend on a berserker. He's pretty good. And on the other one, Mighty Blow, guard, dodge, and stand firm is actually a really weird kind of build for a berserker, but I quite like it because his ulves aren't very developed at all. He's only got blodge on one and nothing on the other.
Is there something like an ulf text?
I'm led to believe that having AV8 on a Norse team is actually a death sentence. I don't know why, but it just appears to be.
Yeah, and with a name like Yeti again, I would say that. Well.
Yeah, that's died once. But yeah, he's got one rookie ulf and one with only blodge, so he desperately needs guard, which is why both berserkers have picked it up, and I like that. I like that adaptation to what's going on with his team.
Yeah, definitely. And with stand firm on a guard player that's really nice. With jump up on a guard player also really nice.
And blodge
one
as well.
That can
it's like really
afterwards.
Good. Yeah, I like it.
So those berserkers are really nice. I'm looking at them. I'm wondering about the AV up.
I don't like
the dirty player
if I'm truly honest.
Yeah, is there any time you really like an armor up on a player?
There's a
maybe
couple
on
of
a
players.
legend that does not need anything else.
A Yeti on a non-doubles 10 would probably take armor up, maybe.
Yeah, but not on a lineman, and especially not on player one.
It's not my favorite skill on the team.
Yeah, it's 30k.
It also seems kind of redundant.
Who might not see the end of the.
Yeah, exactly. That was my argument. Is it actually seems kind of redundant trying to keep a lineman alive to let him foul himself off the pitch.
Yeah. But he also has 2 tackles, so he's in the.
He's not in a bad spot.
On the good side in this.
And I actually really like Norse linemen who pick up fend. I'm a big fan of that. I think it really, between block and fend, helps to keep them alive quite a lot.
Yeah.
And you can throw them at that pomming Pestigol, and you can't pom him, can he?
Oh, I see now he comes from Division 3A. He's relegated to 4A.
I believe he had a rough season.
Yeah, 2-9. He is the only player I've seen to be relegated in our div. So, let's see what he can do.
The one thing he's bringing with him is a lot of experience with the team, obviously, because that makes him... this is 3rd season rather than his 2nd season. So he's got a lot more familiarity with what his team is capable of.
Might even be his 4th season, because his Ulf Verona has 55 games played.
That's a lot of games.
Yep, exactly. That's...
Yeah, they've been around a while as Deadman's team, and like I say, I think that is going to lend itself well to dealing with the problems the division is offering, because he's very familiar with what they're capable of. So I wouldn't look at it and go, he got demoted, he's going to be easy pickings, because look at those berserkers, and even his Yeti's in a really good spot right now, because it's got Mighty Blow right now. So yeah, I think he's more of a threat than people might necessarily think.
I don't think anyone will look at that team and think that's not right. That would be crazy talk.
Blood Bowl coaches are a weird lot.
Yeah, that's true. And you probably have even more experience with that than I do.
But yeah,
how weird we really are.
We are all very crazy. So that is 4A in a nutshell.
That's 4A. So looking forward to this season.
Now,
with
the
this
one
division,
thing we can't do that I'm sure you probably are going to do in future shows is talk about like the upcoming matches for the week, because the schedule can't be produced until I press this button right here that I'm pointing at right now that says start competition, and that won't be till tomorrow. If Deadman hasn't taken his ticket by then, and admin will chase him down, and we'll put a placeholder in his spot, get the division started tomorrow, and then the entire season schedule will be generated, and you've got loads of content there to talk about on your.
Yep, and of course the tipping comp, that alone says that we will talk about the upcoming schedule, because
Absolutely.
I will do my tipping live on stream or live on video, depending on what I decide to do with it. So yeah, you've got that to look forward to. You've got the guys that have seen my recaps before, or my co-hosting recaps. You will get some awards each week. Maybe not each week, but most of the weeks you will get some awards that are meant to be more on the light-hearted side, like Pillow Fist Awards and Lazy Bugger Awards for some players. And we'll also look into some of the weirder statistics of Blood Bowl and REBBL, and I hope to get stuff there for you. Yeah, and I would say that was it. That was a precap for Season 12 of Division 4A. I hope you had a great time.
Looking at it, there's a really good balance of teams in this division. I already looking at it, I'm struggling to pick. I've pointed out some coaches who I think are going to do well, but I think it's quite difficult to pick a winner here.
I think so too. There are teams that look very nice, very well suited to winning a division. There are coaches who have a record of showing that they are able to win it, and there are also some wildcards that could really throw a wrench into the gears of some of those.
And there's a Goblin
teams.
team too.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. I don't know. I just, yeah, Goblins are a weird one. You can, they're very hard to win with. I tend to not. I played Goblins a lot, and I changed my definition of winning to how much damage I did, and I won more games than the papers said anyway. Let's just
Yeah, and they have a lot of squishy targets. So it really depends on when in the season you get the Goblins against you, how well you will be doing. No, of course not, but that might be a factor.
Well, you know what? If the Fnatic goes on a tear and ends 4 players in 1 match, it could upset your preparation for the season. Let's just say.
Yep. Okay, Metal, thank you very much for hosting this.
No, it was good fun. I enjoyed it. Yeah. Thank you for coming along, because it was a very last minute. I just kind of went. Yeah. I saw you put a message out going, we can't do a precap because I haven't got my PC, and I was like, I've got time tomorrow. Can we make this work? And just kind of went, yeah, let's just blag it and see what happens. And obviously you've done an incredible amount of research and knew everything about everything, and I kind of just turned up and went, yeah, the teams, they've got some skills, they're going to do some damage, it'll be fine.
Yeah, you've got the experience to just look at the teams and say what they will be doing.
But yeah,
that's why we're so successful in the tipping comp for the playoffs, weren't you?
Was I? I haven't even looked at the results.
Sorry.
To be honest, I usually suck at tipping comps. I won one once. I've got a REBBL mug, right, that I actually won from a tipping comp. So I have done well once, and the rest of the time I kind of go, I vote for people I like. But anyway, thank you for having me along, although technically I was recording it. This will go up on my YouTube. It won't normally be there, so listen out to my man here, Octochicken, about where it is going to be. He's going to tell you guys as soon as he knows.
Exactly, and join the Division Discord for a lot of banter back and forth between the recappers, the different coaches, and also Hargrim, your div admin.
Not just that as well, we actually have just added, if you look in the tier talk part of the Discord as well. So now not only can you have your own divisional Discord, which is fine, you also have a tier 4 Discord, so you can tell all the other tier 4 teams that you guys are clearly the best division in tier 4.
Definitely. Lot of trash talking there.
I expect lots. If there's not lots, I'll be disappointed. But yeah, that's that. So I'm just going to leave you all with a stay classy, folks.
Have fun out there.